News at 9 with Darian Trotter and First Warning Weather with Joe DiCarlo. Fox News at 9, puro San Antonio.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Darian Trotter. First on Fox tonight, a 5-year-old boy and his father, held in a Texas immigration facility for more than a week now, are back home in Minneapolis tonight. Liam Ramos and Adrian Arias were escorted home by Congressman Joaquin Castro. Fox SA was the first station to announce they had been released. A sharply worded opinion of a federal judge in San Antonio led to the release of Liam and his father. The opinion criticizing how the government handled their detention. Tonight we hear from two attorneys reacting to the judge's opinion and what it could mean beyond this one case. Our Yami Virhin has that story.
A federal opinion that reads like a civic lesson. And today, 5-year-old Liam Conejo Arias and his father, Adrian, are back home in Minneapolis after a federal judge ordered their release for immigration detention in Dilley, Texas, just south of San Antonio. Judge Fred Beery wrote the family was seeking asylum and had no deportation order, but were detained anyway. He accused the government of pursuing deportation quotas and said due process must come first.
When you have an opinion from a judge with such gravitas, it changes the game plan. He issued a writ of habeas corpus, which is in and of itself an incredibly unusual thing to do. The opinion has his usual colorful language. It is correct, it is on point, and it is geared to get people's attention. And this will hopefully get people's attention, because right now, a 5-year-old kid is heading home. And wow, that's a big deal.
Tim Maloney, a San Antonio attorney, says the ruling stands out not just because of the child's age, but because a senior federal judge stepped in. He says the judge issued what is called a writ of habeas corpus, a legal order requiring the government to bring someone before a judge and justify why they're being detained.
Habeas corpus is the only remedy that when you're picked up, it demands that you're taken before a judge and given the right to determine whether or not you are lawfully detained.
The judge also invoked the Fourth Amendment, which protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures and requires a warrant to be based on probable cause and reviewed by an independent judge. Adam Lowy, an Austin attorney, says even people who support stricter border enforcement should pay attention.
We are a nation of laws, and whether people are happy or not with the immigration system, when people come over here and apply for asylum, there is a whole process that they must go through.
Lowy says this case shows how quickly enforcement can collide with due process.
And I was very in favor of getting control of the southern border. I was in favor of getting control down there because under Biden, it was completely out of control. We have to have a southern border. But now it has gone the other way, in which you have ICE agents seizing people off the street, sometimes justified, such as if it's a criminal, but other times not justified. I mean, to seize a 5-year-old boy who is in the process of applying for asylum, I think is nuts.
Maloney says this ruling does not automatically open the door for everyone in ICE custody, but it could shape how similar cases are now challenged.
This was extraordinary circumstance. And these get filed all the time. It isn't like this was a case of first impression, that this first time someone's filed a writ of habeas corpus on an immigration matter. And 99% of the time, I don't know, that's accurate in terms of the percentage, but incredibly high percentage are denied for any number of valid reasons. That's why this is extraordinary, involving a 5-year-old child, involving the national media attention that it got. It's a shame that it took this extraordinary set of circumstances to draw attention to the situation. But unfortunately, you've got like 99 people behind them who ain't getting out. And that's the true tragedy behind it.
The judge acknowledged the family could still face removal, but said it must happen lawfully and humanely. For now, Liam and his father are out of detention, but attorneys say the larger legal fight over how asylum cases are handled is far from settled. Yami Virgen, Fox SA.
Dozens of protesters gathered today at the Migrant Detention Center with the same passion they had before the father and son duo were released. This message, more work is needed. Fox SA's Phil Sterling was there and joins us live with the latest. Phil.
Now, this protest was peaceful. However, protesters were angry. They were angry with what is going on across the nation. And now the League of United Latin American Citizens are calling on local and federal politicians to prevent any more ICE detention facilities like the one in Dilley from being built. Protesters gathering outside the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, about an hour southwest of San Antonio.
The United States government is abusing immigrants.
5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father brought here after being detained in Minnesota last month, having been released after a federal judge made the order.
These are not criminals.
They're not.
They're children.
Saturday morning, the father and son boarded a plane headed back to Minneapolis.
This kind of stuff is what brings humanity back.
But they want more. The League of United Latin American Citizens organized the protests and say there are many more migrant families like Liam's still trapped in detention facilities like this one in Dilley. Some members of Hector Flores' own family live nearby.
But they would have never thought that we would be building a place where they would put children in a penitentiary, even though it's called a detention center.
The demonstrators say conditions inside the Texas Family Residential Center are reportedly unacceptable, with inadequate medical treatment, questionable access to clean drinking water, and delayed care. Claims that opponents have either dismissed or downplayed, defending the facility's conditions as, quote, state of the art. Protesters want Congress to cut off funding to build migrant detention facilities by targeting the infrastructure funding passed in the Big Beautiful Bill.
So we're seeing these facilities pop up everywhere.
During the protest, protesters were chanting, "Today we protest, tomorrow we vote." They were encouraging each other and everyone across the nation to get registered so that they can go out and vote. Phil Sterling reporting live from Dilley, Fox SA.
Tensions began escalating in early